Okay, I see a few folks filtering in now. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling, the virtual college fair. These are so incredibly important. This gives our panelists, our experts in these institutions to share their knowledge with you, to see what your future could be with these institutions. And this is a great opportunity for you to kind of get a little taste of it and find out where you might fit best. If you would like to ask any of these panelists a question, you can do so by using the Q&A button. The Q&A button is at the bottom or the top of your screen. They cannot see you, they cannot hear you. So that Q&A button is really important if you have a question for them. Again, your microphone and your camera are off. You can sign up for more sessions in the same place that you signed up for this. A recording of this will be available along with everything in the Q&A and in the chat at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. Each institution will present for about 6 minutes, and then we'll have a little round table question at the end. And again, please feel free to use that Q&A to ask any of our panelists a question about their institution, or you can ask a blanket question to all of our panelists. All right, and with that, we will kick it off with the University of Vermont.
All right, hi everybody. Happy to be here tonight. Let me go ahead and get the screen shared. Our favorite part, right? Waiting for the screen to share. So my name is Candace Duckworth. I'm the Regional Associate Director of Admissions for the University of Vermont. Regional means actually live here in Pennsylvania, so I'm here to be your resource throughout your entire college search process. So we'll start with just some quick facts here about the university. You can see both our size and also kind of the breadth of our programs. You might notice that the ratio of our in-state to out-of-state students is a little unusual for a state school, but Vermont's a small state, so our students do come from all across the country as well as across the globe. That's really one distinguishing feature of UVM. We also offer more than 100 different majors organized into 7 different schools and colleges. We do also have an honors college. If you're undecided, that's okay too. You have the option to apply as undecided to each of those schools or colleges with the exception of business and nursing. And I'd say undecided is probably our most popular major for our students to apply to. Some of our more distinctive qualities on the surface can appear a little contradictory. I always get asked how I describe UVM, and I just like to say it has the best of both worlds. So I think this slide kind of sums that up for me. We're old. We were founded in 1791. So we're actually the 5th oldest college in New England. But we're constantly renewing our programs as well as our facilities to keep up with the ever-changing world around us. And then again, we're a medium-sized university, so both big and small. Big compared to many liberal arts colleges, but also smaller than many other national research universities. So you get kind of that small school feel within the scale of opportunities and resources of a larger institution. And we are located in beautiful Burlington, Vermont. So we're both kind of urban and open. We're right in the heart of Burlington, a small city known for great food and music and other arts, but also really great business and technology opportunities. Then you have Lake Champlain, the Green Mountains, the Adirondack Mountains kind of all around us. So I always like to say visiting Vermont is like a breath of fresh air. Putting knowledge to work and learning by doing is definitely another hallmark of a UVM education. 92% of our students participate in experiential learning. These opportunities are, include but not limited by any means. So things like internships, research, service learning, nursing clinicals, study abroad. We have some specialized facilities that include a new STEM complex featuring state-of-the-art teaching and research labs, the University of Vermont Medical Center, which is a level 1 trauma center located on campus. And we also have research farms and facilities ranging all the way from Lake Champlain up to the top of Mount Mansfield. The residential experience, where you're living on campus is definitely a big part of that as well. We do require students to live on campus for at least 2 years, and we have all of our students organized into different residential learning communities. So we've put a lot of thought into this model, and our learning communities bring together students around a common interest, allow you to kind of start creating that home away from home feeling. You get to live and learn with other students who have a similar interest to you. You actually get to rank your preferences on your housing contract, so you can choose any area that's interested to you, whether it's related to your major or not. Our UVM community is also dedicated to supporting and celebrating the unique identities of all of our students, faculty, and staff members. One of the most important things we share within our community is our commitment to promoting respect, integrity, innovation, openness, justice, and responsibility. And we call this our common ground. One of our favorite traditions on campus is actually all the students come together and sign a pledge at a candlelight ceremony on the university green when the semester gets kicked off. We also deeply value diversity, equity, and inclusion in all aspects of campus life. We have 4 different identity centers on campus, which are really great active spaces for students to engage and explore what that identity might mean to them. And you can also see there are general education requirements for all students. UVM, like I said, we're in Burlington, so we would not be the same without Burlington, and Burlington would not be the same without UVM. The energy of the campus really feeds the town, and the town gives back to our students with great internships, a thriving music scene, world-class restaurants, coffee houses, and miles of trails, parks, and beaches. It's also a really accessible city, so depending on where you're coming from, you might want to fly. There's also the bus and the train, and it's not too far of a drive for most places in Pennsylvania. So kind of to sum up, UVM's a really great mix of a fully equipped land-grant university that's both old and new and big and small, where our faculty love to teach and students from all over the world get the experience to find success, however it is that you define that success. So it could be employment, graduate school, really wherever your goals lead you. And as you can see here, our students have had really strong outcomes over the last few years. We're really proud of the work that our alumni community is doing across the globe. So just to touch a little bit on our admissions profile here, we do offer early action as well as regular decision, and we're on both the common application and the coalition application. We will be test optional for the next 2 admission cycles, at least, so fall of 2022 and fall of 2023. And we do also automatically consider all students for merit scholarship as well as an invitation to join our honors college, so there's no additional application that you have to do for any of that. At this time, we're prioritizing the health and safety of our on-campus students, faculty, and staff, so our in-person events and tours are very limited. We actually just this week are able to start opening up for a few limited tours. We do have self-guided tours available for families who are following the Vermont safe travel guidelines and want to come to Burlington. But we're definitely going to keep everyone up to date and change and update our website when this policy updates. And I definitely encourage you to learn more on our website. Keep in touch with me throughout your college search. I'm here to be your resource. I'll put my contact information in the chat, and I'll be here to answer any questions that you guys might have. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Next up, we have Gettysburg College.
Hi, everybody. My name is Luke Freegon. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions at Gettysburg College, and I'm also a class of 2018 grad. So I remember sitting in on these sessions, albeit when I was doing it was like real life, not virtual. But I'm going to share a video real quick. It's about 1.5 minutes. And I know we got a strict timeline, so I'm going to stick to that, Christy, I promise. But let me share my screen just for a second. And if you guys can't hear me, or can't hear the video, throw it in the chat. That way I know and I'm not wasting everybody's time.
We are shaped by the people around us, those who inspire us to be more, to do more. Gettysburg College has a spirit about it.
You want to be a better person. You want to keep exploring and experiencing new adventures and find something that no one else has before.
When I first sat down in that classroom, I didn't know what to expect. And then it all became real. My professors believed in me. This place, this field, my coaches, my teammates, my friends, they've all become an integral part of me.
Talking with friends from back home, I'm the only one who's doing research from day one.
I launched my own startup in my first year. I studied the Battle of Gettysburg on the battlefield.
I'm experiencing the world, and I'm making a difference.
We love this place. It's the traditions, the town, the campus, the people, the cookies.
So dream big, then make it happen.
Come join us, be a part of our community. Together, we can change the world.
Together, we can do great work.
All right, quick intro to Gettysburg. I know that we've only got a little bit of time, so I want to share just a few informative slides about kind of who Gettysburg is and where we are as well. So I know that Gettysburg is a word that all of us have heard before. We've all heard about the Battle of Gettysburg. We've all heard about the Gettysburg Address. But when I was a student looking at colleges, I hadn't necessarily heard about Gettysburg College. So that's me. Like I said, I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here. That's my email. Write it down because we love to talk to students, just like all my colleagues here on the screen. But Gettysburg is a classic small private liberal arts and sciences institution. So it's pretty unique in the sense that it sits right next to Gettysburg. Pennsylvania, which is a town of about 5,000 people. And on the other side of campus is the Gettysburg National Battlefield, which is a national park. It's been preserved for almost 150 years. Really super cool to have that close to campus. Gettysburg, as you can see here, is a small town in south central Pennsylvania, really close to a lot of really big cities. So you have the access to things like DC, Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York is a little bit farther away, and our state capital, Harrisburg, is really close. So as a political science major myself, I use DC quite a bit to get internships, to make networking connections with alumni, as well as just to go and enjoy the Cherry Blossom Festival and things like that. But Gettysburg has about 2,600 students on our campus from about 40 states and 40 countries. We've got a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So if you're not calling your teachers by their first names right now, which would be totally weird, I would never do that in high school, you're going to be doing it at Gettysburg. It's something to adjust to, but it's a good adjustment to make. Because you have such close relationships with your professors at Gettysburg, you're going to be doing really hands-on research with them as well. So about 50% of our students, as you can see there, do collaborative research projects with faculty. On top of that, every single student is going to be doing at least one long-term research project through their senior thesis class, which, you know, if you're thinking about long-term projects, imagine a 40 or 50 page paper that you're going to write with help of a professor that you could potentially get published or present on at a national conference. The average class size is 17 students, so you're really going to know the people you go to class with too. I liked Gettysburg because I was worried that it was going to be just like another high school. You know, my high school was actually bigger than Gettysburg College, but it was so nice because I was meeting new people every single day. My classes, with the exception of my first year seminar, were with students from every grade level. And so building a connection and building a series of networks is really important on campus. We've got 65 academic programs, first year seminar program, which I've already mentioned, and things like an honor code and some high impact learning programs that are really cool as well. So these are just some quick pics of campus. Glatfelter Hall is on the right-hand side. That's like the Hogwartsy building on campus. We were founded in 1832, so we've got a lot of history here. And our students are doing a lot, you know, nearly 120 student clubs and organizations. We are almost a fully residential school, so all of our students do live on campus with the exception of just a few seniors who can live off campus their last year if they want to. And our campus is full of leaders. About 60% of our students do some sort of leadership role or involved in some sort of leadership during their time here. In addition, and this is probably the only thing you need to remember, we're ranked 9th in the world, or in the world, I wish, in the nation for campus food. So as you're looking at colleges and visiting schools, make sure you're asking about the food because that's really important. We also have a strong study abroad program with about 60% of our students study abroad every year. Now, college is great, but what are you going to do after college? I was thinking about that when I came to Gettysburg. And so right now, about 98% of our students are employed or in a full-time graduate program a year after they graduate. 100% of them who want to go to law school. Our graduate school acceptance rates, as you can see, they're about 91%. Med school acceptance rate are near the same. And we're really using active alumni to secure those types of opportunities. That's a quick pick. Email me. I know this is a lot of info to just throw at you, but y'all have a little bit of time to think about these things. So come visit. We are open for campus visits. You can come to campus, you can eat the food, try the cookies. And I will say that video that I shared, the girl who said I started my startup during my first year on campus, her name is Mara Rasmussen, and she just won Shark Tank, which is pretty cool. Anyways, Christy, off to you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Next up, West Virginia University.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the West Virginia University portion of this segment. I am going to share my screen, start my little alarm clock here. So let me pull the screen share. Okay. So my name is Jackie, and I am an associate director in the Office of Admissions. Tonight I have Kelly Lowry with me as well, and we're here to help you throughout your college search process. We are 2 of the 3 regional recruiters or admissions counselors who take care of students who attend high school in Pennsylvania. So we're just going to dive right into a video that we have as well. This video really boasts our campus life as well as the personality of campus. So let me get it started here.
Real Mountaineers. This is West Virginia University, home of Mountaineers. We're talking like real Mountaineers, none of that fake stuff. West Virginia Mountaineers. Of champions, pioneers, record breakers, scholars. And this is our jam. We're home to the largest crime scene training complex in the country, the first institute in the world devoted to studying human memory. And we're making headlines in all these places too. This is WVU, where we do the highest level research, seeking cures, building hope, hunting pulsars, discovering new technologies, proving Einstein's theory. Wait, this list just keeps going. You don't expect me to read all these, do you? This is WVU, where being unique and proud of it is in the blood, where he can find rhythm and engineer his future, where she can compete on the field and on the stage, and where our president can inspire us to be ourselves, which is a pretty good thing to be, where a little grit and determination can literally take you anywhere. I'm gonna go flying. This is WVU, a family of distinct campuses, just a short drive from here, and here. Where a degree opens doors for anyone from anywhere, where you can dig into your passions, create your own niche, and find your purpose. This is WVU. Our students are realizing their own visions, leading their own adventures, and writing their own stories. Shh, whoa, sorry. I forgot we were in a library. And when you become a Mountaineer, you'll never have to go it alone. Because here, our faculty will challenge you and support you. Your fellow students will push you and encourage you. And our alumni will guide you no matter where your journey unfolds. We're a community that works smart and plays smart. We question assumptions and laugh at obstacles. A place where everyone fits, because we're all in this together. This is West Virginia University. This is home.
So I hope that kind of gave you an idea of what our campus is kind of about. And one of the things that we'll talk about today is not only just the fact that we have a big campus and we do boast a lot of research, but it's about finding your fit. So we are a statewide system. We have 3 campuses dedicated to undergraduate learning. Morgantown is the flagship campus. We also have Kaiser and Beckley. Some students opt to go to Kaiser and Beckley. They're smaller campuses. We also refer students to those campuses as well. But the important part is we do have a career center on all the campuses. We have clubs and organizations, dual enrollment programs, and a lot to do. So some of the fun facts about WVU, our 2019 freshman profile was about a 3.45 GPA. Our ACT score was around 23 and SAT at 1185. We have 12 residence halls to live in. We have 14 colleges and schools right on our Morgantown campus, and 140 majors. We also have 30 places to grab a bite to eat. At WVU, we do offer a rolling admissions process. So our application opens on August 1st. You can do the application through the Common App. We mail out decisions on a rolling basis. You have to submit your online application, your transcripts, or your self-reported courses and grades, your test scores if you're not test optional, and a $50 fee waiver. A $50 fee or a fee waiver. We do have a test optional policy coming up for this year, and for certain majors, and also we have scholarships available for test optional. These are merit-based scholarships. As you can see, you would need a 4.2 to get a $12,000 per year scholarship, and level 5 would be a $5,000 per year scholarship with a 3.0. If you do take the test, ACT or SAT, you can bump up your scholarship a little bit in some cases. And so these are located online. We have a couple of ways that you can visit. Self-guided tour, come visit us. Our visitor center is open from 9 to 4 most days. We have an on-campus visit. We also have virtual tours as well as a junior open house coming up. Again, I'm Jackie Grass. I'm an associate director in the Office of Admissions. Kelly Lowry is on here with me tonight, and she is the Central PA recruiter, and Casey Lang is the Western PA recruiter. And just let us know how we can serve you. We're happy to help. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. All right. I always am not sure if I'm going to say this right, and I should have asked before we started. Quinnipiac. Did I say it right? Quinnipiac University. Did I do that right?
Yes, you got it.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Katie Strong, and I am an Associate Director of Admissions at Quinnipiac University. For those that are not familiar, we are located in Hamden, Connecticut. That's about 15 minutes outside the city of New Haven and less than an hour and a half north from New York City. So depending on where you're from in Pennsylvania, that's anywhere from about 2.5 hours to about 8 hours if you're going to be sitting in a car and driving to us. At Quinnipiac, we are made up of 3 campuses. Our main campus, which is the one that students will come to see us, is our Mount Carmel campus. And this is where we house our first and second year students, the majority of our undergraduate classes, and this is really the center of student life. So tons of green grass. It's the library right behind me with our grassy quad. And then we have a small state park right across the street called Sleeping Giant. So that provides great hiking and just a beautiful scenery in the fall and winter time. We see a lot of our students going right across the street for a short hike in the spring and fall semesters. Across the street, about 4 minutes driving, is our York Hill campus. This is where our upperclassmen students live. Our Rocky Top Student Center, which looks like a ski lodge, is up there. That has its own dining hall, has a pub up there that we've added recently, and it also has great facilities for studying, hanging out, events, things like that. And it also houses our People's United Center, which is our ice hockey and basketball arena. If you don't follow hockey now, you will when you get to Quinnipiac. Both our men's and women's are traditionally ranked in the top 10 nationally. We have a couple of alumni in the NHL and a couple of our female athletes in the NWHL as well. This York Hill campus is a residential social campus only. You will not find any academic courses taking place on the York Hill campus. So for students coming from out of state like yourselves, we do have a 3-year housing requirement, so you get an opportunity to live in our Mount Carmel campus and our York Hill campus during your experience. And we do have a shuttle that runs back and forth every 5 to 10 minutes. All of our students will experience these 2 campuses. Some of our students will experience the 3rd campus, which is located about 12 minutes away from our other 2. And this serves as an academic only campus. I refer to it more as a suits and scrubs feel. It houses our School of Law, our School of Medicine, Graduate School of Health Sciences, School of Nursing, and School of Education. So students in those areas will utilize this campus, but not usually until their junior, senior year or graduate years. So definitely more of a pre-professional and grad level environment for us. We do also have a shuttle that runs to that campus as well. As far as who we are, we have about 7,000 undergraduate students total. We definitely have a smaller academic feel. Our average class size is about 24 students, student to faculty ratio of 16:1, and no teaching assistants or graduate students teaching any of our classes. On the flip side of that, we do have a bigger school feel. We have over 140 student clubs and organizations, 21 Division I athletic programs, club, intramural sports. We have pre-professional clubs, student government. We have political and advocacy groups, culture and identity groups. We do have Greek life. We just don't offer housing for fraternities and sororities on campus. And as I mentioned, we do have a vibrant residential community with a 3-year housing requirement for students coming from out of state. Academically, we offer a lot. We cover School of Business, Communications, Engineering, Health Science, Nursing, and a College of Arts and Sciences. We have over 60 programs at the undergraduate level, and some unique program offerings that we have are these accelerated dual degree programs that you will find with us. We oftentimes refer to them as 3+ programs. 3+1 will allow you to complete an undergrad and graduate degree in 4 years. You'll find those in business, communications, biology, theater, economics, and computer science with cybersecurity. We also have a 3+2 Master of Social Work degree and a 3+3 Bachelor's to JD Law program with our own law school. We do have a traditional application process, early decision binding, early action 1 and early action 2, and a regular admission deadline. We do encourage those looking at our more selective health science and nursing programs to apply by November 15th. When I say selective, I do mean selective. Our physician assistant program is ranked 15th nationally, so we do see a lot of applications for those programs. OT is ranked 17th nationally. Our nursing program is also a top 25 program. So if you're interested in those, just keep an eye out for the earlier deadline for us. Like many of my colleagues, we are test optional for the foreseeable future. We do recommend, if you're looking at our physician assistant or 3+3 law programs, to submit test scores. However, we will be test optional for those. A lot of my colleagues have mentioned coming to see us. Hold off on coming to campus. We are working with our admitted students right now. We do expect to host prospective students on campus for visits starting in June. So come and see us then. We are not allowing anyone to walk around or drive around campus. We are a closed campus. Just for the safety of our students and staff, we want to make sure that we get you onto campus in the most accessible way possible and be able to see the insides of buildings. So come see us in June. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And I cover all of Pennsylvania. So regardless of where you're from, feel free to connect with me, and thanks for attending.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Southeastern University.
Yes, hi. I'm going to share this video with you guys, and then we'll get started. Oh, let me make sure that I have, yep, perfect.
Fire up. It's that feeling deep in your bones. That desire to be part of something bigger than yourself. It's what drives us, propels us. It's what brought you here. Together, we believe. We dream. We strive for the impossible. Innovation is our fuel. Community is our breath. We discover. We push boundaries. Experiencing life as it was created to be. So fire up your imagination. To chase, to create, to dare. Fire up to be the change this world is waiting for. We are waiting for you.
Awesome. Well, my name is Olivia Grimes. I'm one of the enrollment counselors here at Southeastern University. Part of my territory is Pennsylvania. We are a private Christian university down in Lakeland, Florida, which is right between Orlando and Tampa. So if you love Disney, we're close to Disney. If you love the beach, we are close to the beach down in Florida. So it's great there. And we have a lot of our students that come from more than 53 different countries. So very diverse campus here. Just part of my story, I was a student here on campus and I loved my time here. I think one of the best things that I loved about Southeastern was just how great the community was here and how incredible my experience was, and being able to like talk to my professors and them knowing me by name. It was just a blessing to be able to be close with my professors and have that relationship there. So loved my time here in the community here on campus. And I just want to go over a few academic highlights that we have here. These are our 5 most popular majors. So one of them is kinesiology. We have psychology, biology, Bachelor of Social Work, and elementary education. Those are our top 5 majors offered here on campus. And then we also have added new majors. So we have aviation, political science. We also have tourism and hospitality management, along with language, culture, and trade. And those last 2 are actually very popular now because we are in the Orlando area. We also are close to Clearwater, lots of tourism, lots of hospitality management. So great hands-on experience here when you're studying that. And you're able to really get your experience and internships and everything within those programs. Just a few more highlights. We have a 92% first-time pass rate with the nursing exam, which exceeds the national average of 87% for nursing educated students. We have 95% of our education students who are in that department. Once they graduate, they are offered teaching positions within that year of graduation and even like up to that next school year. So 95% with the education department, which is amazing. And then we have our first time pass rate in our accounting department is 85% for the CPA exam, which is amongst the highest of the colleges and universities in Florida. then just a few admission updates for you guys. Like a lot of us are currently, we are test optional. So right now we can accept SAT, ACT scores. If you don't take them, that's okay, but we encourage you to do so because it does help with academic scholarship. We are fully reopening in the fall. So we offer a full on-campus experience with appropriate health and safety precautions, but we are fully reopening. So many of our students are very excited about that. And then we offer up to $19,000 in academic scholarship. So you can be a part of our honors program here. We also offer great academic scholarship when applying, and we can be in contact about that. And I want to give you guys a free waiver code to apply to Southeastern. If you use the code FUTUREFIRE, you can waive that fee when you apply. You can also scan this slide here and make sure you get that code there when you apply. I will put my information in the chat section, and I'll put that free waiver code as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We love talking with students and making sure we're in contact with them. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Next up, we have Haverford College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bree Pierce, and I am the Assistant Director of Admission and Access and Diversity Initiatives at Haverford College. I'm really excited to have you all here today and to share a little bit about our community. Before I get started with my presentation, I do want to share that I'm not going to go too much into the technicalities of our admissions process. And I'll tell you why a little bit later. But I'm going to get started with sharing my screen and getting into a little bit of my presentation. All right, and so this is a beautiful picture of Haverford College in the fall. And this is a picture of me. Again, I'm the Assistant Director of Admission and Access and Diversity Initiatives. You are more than welcome to take down my email address to contact me for any questions you may have about setting up appointments or anything that I bring up in our presentation. I also really look forward to just connecting with you all throughout the process. Obviously, with everything happening with COVID, things have looked very different. And, you know, the process hasn't only affected our students that are coming in as freshmen, but also you as well. And so at Haverford, we really, we want this to be as smooth of a process as possible. And so please don't hesitate to reach out. So just a few quick facts. So we are a small liberal arts college. We have 1,373 students, 98% of which live on campus. And the other 2% that live off campus actually are still on campus, but just like a little bit down the street. And so we're still close. Our unofficial mascot is the black squirrel. We have a ton of squirrels on campus. And so that is a huge part of our community. We are also recognized as a national arboretum. And so as you can see, our student to tree ratio is 1 student to 6 trees. So if you are into the environment, we have tons of green space, tons of trees, all that are officially recognized by species and all of those things. So pretty cool fact there. For our students enrolling for fall 2020, so this isn't our current year coming up, but 343 students that we had, 46.1 of them identified as people of color, and you can see our breakdown there. And then some other statistics about different regions, our top states, and areas that our students are coming from. And so Haverford is located in Haverford, Pennsylvania, which is just about 20 minutes outside of the Philadelphia area. And so our students do make great use of the Philadelphia area. But we do like to say at Haverford, you know, Philadelphia and our proximity to that area is complementary to the experience that you'll have at Haverford. It's not a substitute. And so we do have a lot of ways for our students to engage in community on campus. And so these are just a few pictures of our campus. We have 200 acres, 50 plus academic buildings, athletic, residential facilities, and things like that. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to be. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our Quaker Consortium, which consists of Bryn Mawr College, Haverford College, of course, Swarthmore, and the University of Penn. So all of these institutions are Quaker universities, or excuse me, Quaker colleges and or universities. And basically, it's really an educational partnership where students from all of these 4 institutions can take courses. A Haverford student can take courses at Bryn Mawr, a Swarthmore student can take classes at Haverford, and student from Penn can take classes at Haverford or Bryn Mawr. So there is a mix of different things. So it's really awesome because Haverford is such a small school, but our resources are robust. So we're sharing not only relationship between students, but also different resources from books, library catalogs, databases, and things like that. And then we also have our Tri-Co-Philly program with just Bryn Mawr, Haverford, and Swarthmore, very similar to the Quaker Consortium. And it's pretty much an educational partnership as well, where students can take courses at all of those institutions. And we have even some majors that our students may take at Bryn Mawr or Swarthmore, but still living at Haverford or things like that. So a lot of opportunities there. A few of our degree partnerships. So you can see University of Penn, California Institute of Technology, a list of these larger research universities that we have partnerships with for bioethics, engineering, finance, Latin American studies, China studies. And these are ways that you're able to fast track your master's degree. So a lot of times you'll have a 3+2 program or a 4+1 program. Actually, our engineering program is in partnership with the University of Pennsylvania, and it is a 4+1 program. So tons of opportunities for that. And then one thing that does make us unique, we require all of our students to take a senior thesis or to complete a senior thesis. And basically, you see Leslie, one of our students, talking about that process and how it's really about going through a culmination of your studies from freshman year all the way to senior year, and pretty much taking everything you've learned, even outside of your major, the writing intensive courses, the quantitative courses, and putting all that in play. This may look like research if you're in the STEM field, or longer papers if you're in the humanities, just to show what you've learned throughout your time. Shared governance is another way that we're unique. So at Haverford, being a Quaker institution, we value trust, we value concern, respect, and we have a lot of different values based under the tradition, even though we aren't a formally religious institution. And one of the things that we truly value is student engagement and student agency. And so our students are involved in all parts and all of the ways that we do business on campus. And so you'll see that our students are engaged on our honor council. We do have an honor code. And then also our student council as well. We have tons of different committees. When I actually went, because I'm not an alum of Haverford, I actually graduated from Dickinson College in PA, but when I went through my process of being hired, there were students that interviewed me and often asked harder questions than my now colleagues. So we really encourage our students to get that leadership and be civically engaged and ethical leaders. So when they go into the real world, they're prepared and they've said, you know, I've done this before, I've had this experience, I've had the guidance from my professors and different things as I'm charting my own path. Residential life, we have tons of different community houses on campus. We also have singles as well if you do not want to live in community housing, but a lot of our students do take the opportunity to live with students based on similar identities or academic interests. And it's really just a great way to continue the conversation outside of the class. And so everything that we do is really about relationship building and about building community. We have academic centers as well. Our academic centers are ways that we go beyond the boundaries of the classroom. And so these are opportunities for internships, study abroad programs. We also bring visiting professors, anyone that comes to speak to our students. All of that is pretty much through our academic centers. Also, any connections that we have with the Philadelphia area, if our students want to do ethnography work, if our students want to do community-based connecting, that these are things that go through our academic centers as well. And then the last thing I'll say before I close is just about our financial aid. So we meet 100% of demonstrated need for our students. And basically what this means, so one, Haverford, we do not offer merit scholarships because we meet 100% of demonstrated needs. So all of our students that are admitted, we look at, their financial situation. Of course, they fill out the FAFSA. We also have other financial documents that our financial aid office likes our students and families to fill out. And based on what our family needs, we meet that. And oftentimes go beyond that as well, because we know that, it doesn't stop. Your need doesn't stop when you just get to college. We know that you'll need things to get throughout your day. You'll need to pay for food. You'll want to go out and have a good time. So there are different opportunities for more financial assistance in that as well. But thank you so much. I'll stop now just because I know that we're short for time, but I really appreciate the time that you all gave for me today. I will put my information in the chat. And thank you so much, Christy, for facilitating this, and have a great night, everyone.
Thank you. Actually, if everyone could come back on camera, we're going to go in the same order that you presented. And if you could answer this question, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And that's starting with University of Vermont.
There we go. My background was all goofy. Hi, guys. If I were to give you some advice for your college search, would be to enjoy it. I know that sounds kind of silly. Like, there's so much out there right now, especially virtually, just like you're kind of inundated with all this information. Just kind of take the time to go through, figure out what it is that you want. You've got this opportunity to learn and explore and grow. So just enjoy the process.
Yeah, I would definitely have to just hop off of Candace's point there. I think that as stressful and as crazy as the college search process can be, at the end of the day, students, it's your job to find a place where you can be your best self for 4 years. And so my piece of advice would be find a school that fits you and find a school that you like. It's going to sound super like hippy dippy liberal artsy, but find a school that's got a good vibe and a school that matches your vibe. Because I think for those of us who are presenting tonight, that's something that we've all found as administrators at our school, and those of us who are alums, the same deal. I think being able to really think critically about what you're going to do, where you're going to go is important, but just liking where you go, I think, is step number one. And so try not to feel too inundated with all this info that you're going to get thrown at you for the next year and a half, and just go somewhere that feels good to you.
I am going to go on a more serious note, but I do love those two ideas of having fun with it, because that's the most important thing. It's so much fun with your family to do this, or your guardians, or whoever's helping you get through the college search. So definitely enjoy it. But I'm going to go on the affordability route. I know it's not something that's talked about too much because it's just a pain, really. But every college does have has a net price calculator. And just keep in mind that those calculators sometimes get confusing. So contact us, ask us about that. The things that you really want to go on websites and find out is what are your tuition, your fees, your room, and your board. And if you can have that down before you go on your college search and go visit a campus, then you'll know, like, this might happen for me, it might not. And don't ever discount a college based on that. But just have it in the back of your head that if you don't get scholarships there, or they don't have that demonstrated need, supplemental funding that Brianna discussed on that last, because that's awesome, on that last part of the segment, that it might not be the best place for you. And happiness does come in the form of being okay with your finances while you're on campus. And that's what we want to try to get you to do. So affordability.
I would just add that although the virtual world isn't always fun, it's presented a great opportunity to students to learn about schools both inside of Pennsylvania and outside of Pennsylvania. To think that you have Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Vermont, Florida, West Virginia, all in one place is a great opportunity. So research schools that you may not have ever really thought were a possibility for you, do virtual tours, and start your list really big and then narrow it down from there.
Yeah, Luke mentioned it in the comments, but I think one of the biggest things for me was visiting campus. I know it's different right now. It looks different with COVID and everything, but making sure you're visiting campus, it really makes a difference in the experience that you have. And so when you're on that college search, I remember when I was looking, it was so important for me to really feel that community and make sure that I felt like I fit in and found just like you said, like the vibe of everything there. And so I encourage you guys to visit campus as able as you are right now. It really just allows you to step on campus, and there's moments where you're just like, okay, this is where I belong. Like, this is where I feel like I need to be. And so it's kind of like unexplainable, but it's just definitely just something that I know that as a student, I experience. So making sure you're visiting campus, or if it's a virtual visit, even then, that's awesome. And making sure you're really able to engage with that portion of campus.
Absolutely. I agree with everything that my colleagues here shared. The only thing I would add, in the beginning of my presentation, I said I wouldn't go too much into the technicalities, and here's why. Because I really think you all need to experience like the transformation that happens from your junior year into your senior year is so large. And so, for programs, I think a few of my colleagues mentioned there are, some medical programs or different things where you have to apply a little earlier, but I really do encourage students to take some time to like sit with your senior year. Like, what happened my junior to senior year? How have I transformed? And really be reflective in that process, because that will really set the stage for what you're looking for at the college level, or not looking for at the college level. So really sit with that before you get into the application process and things like that.
All right, awesome advice from all of you. The one thing I like to just add on what you all said is, to the audience out there, is these folks are the expert, and what they really want to do is make sure that you find a place that you fit best. So please contact these folks, talk to them consistently, and all of the advice that you gave is amazing. So thank you for being a part of this panelist. Thank you for the attendees, and thank you for all the folks that are watching this after the fact. If you are here when you leave, there is a 4-question survey that will appear that is incredibly helpful. There are more sessions that you can sign up for in the future, so please do. And you can get a recording of this, the panelists can, and the attendees, of course, at strivescan.com/Pennsylvania. Best of luck to everyone out there. Thank you so much to the panelists, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.